Wagwan. This is the Sports Time Zone. I am your host. But I know I'm staying out of the building right now. We're the only sports podcast out here that bring you two different generations of sports takes. You already know what time it is when we here. This is the NBA Conference Finals edition of the Sports Time Zone. Before we even get started, running a little late. You might text me a little bit so that you're I just hang on live. Also, shout out to my co-host Z-Dave. He's gonna be here in a minute. I'm gonna hold you down, Dave, until you get here. If y'all already, make sure y'all hit that like, that share, that subscribe, and go to our IG page, SportsTime_Zone. Make sure y'all follow us there. All of the content will be uploaded there. Y'all get everything, all of the episodes going on with the podcast. Shout out to everybody that's been showing love to us. KE Creations, top to bottom detailers out of Cleveland, Ohio. Shout out to SammyTreats.com, Billionaire Society LLC, Seven Figure Society Marketing Agency, and Career Life Media. In out of building, we got two own. Yo, it's gonna be if y'all been living under a rock and you don't know what's going on right now in the NBA, this is the Eastern Conference Finals debut. Last night, we had the Western Conference Finals game one, and it was a good one. So today is the Eastern Conference Finals, a rematch of last year's playoff matchup of the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. Salute to both teams. And what we got for y'all today, I got fans from both teams that's going to be right here on the Sports Time Zone, and we're going to break everything down. Some of these guests you may have seen before. Some of them you may have not seen before. But without further ado, we just going to jump right in and get this thing going. Oh, man. How's my audio? My audio sound good for y'all in the comments? Drop it in the comments. Let me know if my audio is good. If it's going in and out or whatever, we're going to get it right. We're going to get it together and make sure everything is right. But let's keep the train moving. Let's get started. We're going to ladies first this thing. Coming to the stage, someone who has already been here on the Sports Time Zone. She is the reigning, defending Women's History Month Trivia Sports Time Zone champion. She's also an entrepreneur. She's also a world-renowned foodie. She's also a social media personality. She is also a representative of the Boot, Louisiana, and she just so happens to also be a diehard avid fan of the Indiana Pacers. We're going to welcome back to the stage the lovely, the queen, Rebecca with the AK. Welcome back to the show, Rebecca. Salute and welcome back. Shouty.
Thank you. I love that intro as always.
You know your boy. You know Noomshi. I'm gonna come through with them intros. You know I'm gonna make sure the reigning, defending.
Yeah.
I give you that. Yeah, that's that Bruce Buffer in the blue corner. Yo, Bruce Buffer. He got the energy. I'm trying to get my mind up there like that. But welcome back to the show. Your Indiana Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals. So
yes, they are. Let's go. Let's get it. I'm ready.
You are ready. Shout out to you. But don't get too cocky yet, because we got a couple of other people that's coming to the stage.
It's always the New Yorkers. The New Yorkers.
You know what it is. You already know what it is. So before I go any further, I want to bring to the stage my personal brethren, my god brother, and also he is the CEO of Carib Life Media. He is also a talented producer. He is also one of the founding members of Intervisions. He is also a dance hall DJ, one of the best in the DMV area, one of the best that you're going to find from the East Coast. He is also a New York Knicks fan and a New York native. He is my brother, my god brother, the one, the only, Beware. Welcome to the studio, my brethren.
Oh.
Yeah. when we step in, we step in. That's how we
That's
step
what
in.
we doing.
Yeah.
That's
New
what we
York
doing.
there, man. You don't know how we New Yorkers stay, man. We have to announce ourselves. Yeah, big and proud and loud. Yeah.
Yo,
Knicks will say.
that's what's up.
Oh
Welcome. Yo, that I wasn't expecting that, but my boy, he gonna come through with the party favors. He gonna come through with the party favors every time. That's what I'm talking about. Now, we're not done though. New York, New Yorkers gotta run. Y'all gotta roll deep. New Yorkers don't never come one deep. They always come in packs. So,
wow. That's crazy.
coming to the stage, we also have another New York Knicks fan who is also a host of his own New York podcast called Knicks and Ish. He is also a social media personality. He is also my brethren. He is also a die-hard New York Knicks fan representing the NY. Coming to the stage, another one of my brethren, the one, the only, Fries Ties. Welcome, brethren.
Yo, better know to big up yourself, yo. Big up all my New York Knicks fans in the building, yo. Check out the podcast. Knicks and Issues in the building for sure. Please go and check us out on all your favorite social media streams: Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, with Discord. We got a little bit of everything. Know what I mean? Shout out everybody in the building.
Man.
Shout out. Of course, yeah, big up better Nooms 2 time, you see me?
Salute.
And don't forget, don't forget Black Planet and MySpace.
Yo, I'm about to big up everybody we're associated with the thing, man. Yo, we're not left out nobody. Nobody not left out. Nobody not left out. Nobody not watch no face. You see me? Oh.
Yo, you took it back, You took it back with the Black Planet, MySpace. Yo,
yeah, you did.
Yo, for real.
That was a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. But speaking of a time to be alive, the New York Knicks, man, this is y'all first time in the Eastern Conference Finals since I had a Gumby fade, a beeper.
Oh, not a Gumby fade.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm telling you his age.
I know, right? But this is the sports time zone, so this is what we do. Shout out to A Sip of Champagne in the chats right there. We see you, man. Make sure you share the podcast, like it, subscribe. Come on, sports fans. You make sure you put them on. We're gonna jump right into this because tip-off is in less than an hour. We want to make sure everybody is seated and planted for that tip-off. So we're gonna jump right into it. And I'm gonna start off with a couple of questions for the panel because again, the New York Knicks, for those of y'all who don't know, the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers have a rivalry that dates back. This goes into the 90s. I'm talking about Miller. I'm talking about John Starks. I'm talking about Allen Houston. I'm talking about Dale Davis. I'm talking about Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson. Are any of these names ringing bells to any of y'all out there?
Yeah, you old as shit. Yeah.
Okay. I see Rebecca's already. She's already on one.
I only remember Carmelo Anthony, so I don't know about the rest of them playing.
Oh wow.
I bet. So I'm the only one who remember the Davis brothers and when Larry Johnson.
No, you don't. The Rick Smiths and the Antonio Davises and
all that.
Hold up. The Wayman Tisdales. Chill. Don't get me started on the names, all right? I bet you didn't even think about that name, did you? Yeah, I know.
It's been a minute since the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers faced each other in a conference finals. Now, you guys did face off last year in the playoffs. I believe, was it in round 2, Fraz? Or was
round two.
Round two.
Y'all faced off in round 2. So my first question, I'm going to pose this to one of the Knicks fans. I'll start off with you, Beware, since you you wanted to throw the age jab out there. So we're going to start off with this. Based on what you've seen from your New York Knicks this season, because you've been on the Knicks all year. Every time I talk to you, you're like, yo, you see them Knicks? Every time we talk, you bring up the Knicks. So with that being said, what do you think are the keys to victory for your New York Knicks to let's just start with game one. We ain't gonna even talk about the series. Let's just start with game one tonight. Where is it? Madison Square? Is it in Madison Square tonight?
Yep. Yep. You know it.
What do you think are the keys?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, what's the keys to victory for y'all to win this game and pull off a game one win at home against the Indiana Pacers team that might be a little bit favored in this series? What are the keys to victory?
I'd probably say it has to. We have to go to the beginning, and the beginning for me in watching the game starts with some cannabis. Got to have some fly cannabis on deck.
Yes. Blaze up.
All right. So once we got that straight, and I can sit down and relax and watch while I go on. The keys to victory for the Knicks is, first thing is you got to stay out of foul trouble. There's been a lot of foul problems for Towns. There was a game where Brunson even fouled out, I think in the third quarter, something like that. So they want to definitely do that. And you probably want to, Indiana has a lot, they have a deep bench. So they're going to have a lot of players in rotation. So you probably you're going to try to have to match that as good as you can, as well as you can, because if not, Indiana team is very active, so they might, run Brunson in Towns, and Onunabi might get a little tired, chasing these guys for 40, 50 minutes. So they probably want to use their bench, especially Robinson. Robinson has shown and demonstrated he's very effective, especially on the board, offensive rebounds, bringing in that spark of energy. McBride also. So just utilizing these guys a little more. I think is the keys to victory. And third of all is Indiana is like a team where you can't really get down 20 points with them, right? Yeah. So even though you guys, the Knicks were able to do that with the last team, with Boston. Again, Boston had a lot of injuries. Then Tatum was out altogether. So you don't want to even put yourself in a position in no quarter where you're down 15, 20 points, and then you got to wait to the fourth quarter to rally back to try to win it. Historically, that ain't really worked for us, especially in deciding games in the Garden. So, right. And then against Indiana, where we have a long history.
A team like Indiana, it ain't going to work. Not against
it ain't going to work. So I would say you want to jump on them from early. You want to put your foot in their neck. And you just want to keep your foot in their neck. You want to foul hard. You know how Pat Riley used to have if Pat Riley used to make them foul the players, and if you help the player up off the ground, he will find them. So really hard fouls, rough, almost like football. Let's play some football in the Garden tonight.
Hurt y'all, Rebecca. He trying to hurt y'all.
I see. Take a foul, but that means that you can't stand alone. If you have to, go down to cheap tricks like that, hurting and hard fouls.
The contact sports. What's cheap tricks?
What we're supposed to do. We getting it done.
So basically, Beware. What Beware is saying is, it has to be a physical game. They have to get out on top of you guys early. They gotta run it up. They run it up.
Hey. I ain't say nothing about on top of.
So my question,
got a loose talk, y'all make no see.
Indiana's not gonna let you have a big lead. Like, you're never gonna have this significant lead. It's not like the Pacers of the 90s where it was blowout games where they were losing by 40, 50, 60 points. They don't even do that anymore. If they lose, it's a 1 point, 3 point, maybe 4 points, but it's not blowouts or anything like that. So they're definitely gonna keep up the pace. No pun intended.
Rebecca, you get horns.
Hold on, let me get my pacer gear.
You get horns, Rebecca. Let me tell you why you get horns. Because you sound like
geared right now.
You sound like a biased female in your depiction, in your description.
Yes, because I am rooting for my team, which is the Indiana Pacers. I'm supposed to be biased. I'm supposed to say, whichever way it goes, it goes. No, Indiana's gonna bring it all the way home, all the way.
But myself, Brother Noomsi, and Nixon-ish, we're all going to use facts. And we're all going to use numbers to support our position, to support what we're saying. I am biased towards the Knicks, but I also use some facts talking about their history against the Pacers. So let's use some facts. and let's not lean towards what we feel.
Oh no. The facts are there. You're right. You can use the numbers, you can use the facts, but it's the action. Where we at right now? What's the action behind it? That's what makes it different.
You behind the horn.
The action is what dictates the outcome, not history. History changes every day.
Crazy.
Okay. So then my question to you, Rebecca, since you know it just segued right into that. What do you think are the keys? I know you've watched your Pacers play this year. I know you've watched your team. You watched Halliburton. You've got Miles Turner. You've got Nembhard. You got all those boys, Pascal Siakam, and all of that. What do you think y'all have to do? Like, what's the key for you guys to beat the New York Knicks? I don't know if you even watched the Knicks play this year or if you've seen them play. But they're not I mean, they got all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, so it ain't gonna be a cakewalk. So what do y'all got to do in order for y'all to beat them?
Play smart. Play smart. Not necessarily hard, but because the Knicks are a very physical team, you're gonna have to work smarter. Meaning, like, stay away from the hard fouls, stay away from the injuries. Like, keep yourself to where you're not tiring yourself out. It's just game one. We still have a stretch to go. Hopefully, it's not more than 4, but you have to keep yourself in the game and do more mental than physical. That was my question. He asked me the question, I gave my answer. Don't shake your head. That's how I feel. That's my response.
Play smart.
Play smart. Play smart.
No, I mean, that's
tire themselves out with all that physical game. Play smart.
That's I mean, that's a good smart key. I mean, you can't play dumb and win, so I get that. And the Pacers, you guys have a deep team. Like, you have your starters are good, your bench is good. Yep. You've got depth. You've got everything that you would want from a team. And with that depth, you have to play smart to win. So I definitely agree that that's going to be one of the keys. Coming back to the stage, I want to welcome, before we go any further, shout out to my cousin Noomsy in our building. Cousin Noomsy, BK in the building. Brooklyn represent. New York in the building. Shout out to you. Welcome back, cousin Noomsy. Thank you for being here again. I want to say what's up to the sports time zone world. Wave at everybody.
Hi.
Yeah. Wagwan. And also, I also want to welcome to the stage my brethren, Indiana Pacer fans. See, I've got you some backup, Rebecca. I got you some backup for the Indiana Pacers in the building. I got my man James in the house. Shout out to James, Indiana Pacer fan, diehard fan.
What's going on, Jim? What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, we in here. So we was just chopping it up. I'm going around the world right now, and I'm trying to get an idea of what the keys to victory are for each team. So Fraz, I know, brethren, you're in here. My man from the Knicks and Ish podcast, my man Fraz, New York Knicks representative. Before I get to cousin Noomsy and then also my man James, I want to hear from you, Fraz, and Knicks and Ish hopeful. What are the keys for your New York Knicks to win game 1 tonight against the Indiana Pacers?
Well, as simple as these few things here. First off, we got to start out early in games. I agree with Cuzzo big time. Getting out to an early start is key for the Knicks because we're not a team that's built to play from behind all series long. Like, we're not built like that. But when we start off well in the games, we end up playing well, usually toward the end of the game. You saw that last series. You see that throughout the season. Karl Anthony Towns. Simple as that. Anthony Towns averaged 30 points, 11 rebounds against the Pacers in the regular season. I don't think Pacers could stop him. If he's relentless to the basket and getting downhill, I don't see the Pacers stopping Karl Anthony Towns. So he's going to be the X factor in this series. Because at the end of the day,
on, I'm going to cut you, but when Karl Anthony Towns is on, it's hard for anybody to stop him. He's a big man that can step back. He can shoot the three. He can drive to the basket. He can rebound. He can play in the post. He got a mid-range game. So if he's on, it's hard for anybody to stop him. But he's just one guy. The Pacers got a lot of depth, Raz. So
they
you
do,
think
but
him by himself go and do it?
Yeah, let me finish. I gotta get
Go
to the
ahead.
rest of the
I'm
game.
gonna let you cook. My bad. I'm gonna let you cook.
You know what I mean? But like I said, he's just the X factor. I ain't get to the rest of the squad yet.
Okay, go on.
Brunson's not a guy you gonna completely shut down. You gonna contain him, but you can't stop Brunson. After a while, Brunson gonna figure you out, and Brunson gonna do his thing. So I'm not worried about the captain. OG Anunoby definitely gonna need to shut down Pascal Siakam this series. He know him well. That's his ex-teammate in Toronto. Also, Precious Achua was their ex-teammate as well in Toronto. They was all together on that championship squad. So who better to play defense against Pascal Siakam than OG Anunoby? You know what he gonna do? He shut him down. And if I'm correct, and shout out to my guy Kev Rodriguez, my fellow Knicks and Ish panel member. I believe he looked up a stat that when OG was defending Pascal Siakam, he was 5 for 14 from the field in those games. So
that's not good.
I'm hoping that the same thing holds true for this series. And I'm hoping that he's able to slow this guy down a lot, because the Pacers is a team that they got a number of guys that they'll kill you. Another big key, and I ain't gonna try to be too long-winded. The transition game. We gotta hold Pacers to one and done. We gotta get back on defense after every shot. Pacers have done it before. They'll do it again. They're gonna try and keep coming at us right off of the miss or the hit. You know what I'm saying? So no matter how you slice it, we gotta get back on defense. We can't let the Pacers.
I think your audio went out, brother. I think Fries is frozen right now on the audio, but we get it though. I hear your keys, and we'll circle back to touch on that. But all right, James, welcome to the pod, James. Definitely, shout out to you.
Appreciate the invite. I appreciate the invite. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. So, James, I want to ask the same question for you. For your Indiana Pacers to beat the New York Knicks in their building in Madison Square Garden in Game 1 tonight, what are the keys for victory for your Pacers to take this win on the road?
Well, the first thing what they need to do is play Indiana Pacer basketball. Don't go do nothing different than what you've been doing. And I think the main key is to take the ball to the hoop, cut down on the turnovers and everything, because I don't think New York has a really good depth, bench depth like we have. And I think the main thing is this: we really need to get Pascal Siakam started early. To me, I think he's the main key for this game. And I just think Halliburton, just play your game, take the ball to the hoop, get everybody involved in the game. Because I've been watching New York a little bit this year, and Jalen Brunson is not going to beat us 1-on-5. They need 5-on-5 people to beat us. And plus, the Pacers, we're a young team, we're an energetic team. We take the ball to the hoop. We get the ball up court real fast before the defense has a chance to set up and everything. So that's going to be the key. To me, I got the Pacers in 6 games.
Oh, okay. Bold word.
Disrespectful, man.
6 games. I'll say right now.
Disrespect that, bitch.
Because we have better shooters. We have better shooters than New York does. And the fact is this: we have some great young players who's hungry. Because we kind of got embarrassed last year by Boston. I think this team is very hungry this year.
Yeah. You mean the team we just beat?
Hold on, Beware. Y'all didn't beat the Boston team that beat them. Y'all beat a Boston team with an injured Jason Tatum.
You can make any excuses you want to make. You can do it. I'm gonna give you some Indiana talk. I'm fitting to give you some real facts here. I'm fitting them.
Sydney.
We don't talk like that in New York. We don't say
Hold
fitna.
on. Cousin Noopsy, after all of that you heard, now it's known that Indiana does have a deep team. They do have a younger team. They do have better shooters overall.
Yeah.
They got better shooters. So, Cousin Noopsy, what do you think it's going to take for your New York Knicks to beat Indiana with all of those factors riding against y'all?
I was gonna say something real extra, but I'm gonna just keep my peace.
The Brooklyn was about to come out. Huh?
It was.
You see it.
It was. No, but honestly, consistency. Getting our rebounds, staying under the rim. For the life of me, I don't know why we don't. And just keep the gel going. Like, I just feel like we keep the ball moving. Once we have the ball moving, it just seems like we're all on the same wave. I think the Knicks are unstoppable as long as they continue to play smart. We don't need Jalen. I just need Jalen Brunson to be in the pocket and stay right there where he's good at. OG needs to work on making sure that he continues his shots. Robinson needs to stay on the free throw line and take shots for the rest of the season, off season, out of the season, whatever season.
Okay.
However, their defense. I talked about their defense earlier in the season, and I was like, yo, I really need them to tighten up. I also said the only team I was really worried about was the Boston Celtics. We still beat them when they had everybody on the team. It was 3-1, I think the game was. So regardless, it was the same squad, and we still beat them one time. The other thing is, I think as far as Indiana, there's this big hype. It's always been this hype with New York and Indiana ever since 90 whatever. It's always been this hype.
Now you trying to call me old too? Like, why y'all trying? Y'all need to stop it. I'm not that old. Y'all gotta stop it. But go ahead.
I'm 56 years old, partner. I'm 56.
Salute to you, OG. Salute to the OG. All right, he's the OG of the pod right now. Salute to you, OG. Appreciate that. Now, but let's keep it moving because we do got tip off coming. So I want to get through these real quickly and also give everybody a chance to say what they got to say. So I'm going to circle back and I'm going to come back to my man Beware. So you've watched Indiana play clearly. You know what? All right. So based on what you've seen, who is Indiana's best player that y'all really have to be concerned about? It doesn't have to be their best overall player, but who is the player that you think y'all have to really limit him in order for you guys to win this game?
I would probably say that what's the boy named Pascal
Siakam.
Right, but it's probably you probably have to put that amount of, emphasis on every player because you don't want anybody to get hot. Like when you saw Boston, the boy Brown got hot. Right? Tatum was going, so you don't want nobody getting hot, man. And like Cuzzo said, you just want to play some strong defense, and on everybody across the board. Get back on defense, prevent them quick transitions that Indiana has a reputation of doing with their young players, like the OG said. That's the way I see it. I mean, I'm a little biased, man. I'm probably arrogant as hell with this, but I just don't see Indiana beating New York, son. You gotta remember, at the end of the day, I think we're the number 2 seed, right?
Yeah. How do you not see it?
Because here what I'm saying, we don't make some power moves since last year. They made moves so that they would be able to beat Indiana in the situation they're in right now, and that's what bringing in Bridges, bringing in Towns, right? So they didn't do that thing for no reason, and it seemed to be paying off. So now here we are in the finals. And I just think that our confidence level, the momentum is on our side. Brunson has got the clutch player of the year thing. We beat Boston, and like Cuzzo said, they was probably the biggest challenge for most people, me included. Now they got rid of that. Pack that Indiana shit up, man. Let's go.
So rude. So rude.
Yo, it's not easy enough. It's not easy enough.
Yo, so rude.
Shout out to my man co-host Kev who just stepped in the building. Another New York.
Wow, shout out my co-host Kev. That's my co-host Kev. You already know. What up, Kev?
You just said it. I said New
blow.
One deep. Rebecca, they don't never be just one or two of them. It'd be like a gang of them, and they always.
No, that's how we do, son. That's how New Yorkers do. Yo, listen to this. I was in Dubai. And I'm in Dubai, and I went to this little club and shit. And the DJ was like, "Anybody in New York is in the house? Brooklyn in the house?" Yo, you had a bag of people just raise their hand and start representing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yo, shout out. Also, salute to my producer. Q the Beat just slid through the back door. What up?
Q the Beat.
What up, Q?
Yo, Q the Beat.
Q the Beat in here.
So we docking you, son. We docking you.
Well, yeah, but I wanna
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Get back to my pacer hopeful over here. So
not hopeful.
Based on what you've seen from the New York Knicks, what do you see? Who do you see as the one guy for the Knicks, if anybody at all? You could say none of them if you want to say none of them. But who's the one guy?
That's my answer.
That's
none of them.
Okay,
none of them.
You're too bright. You're too bright and disrespectful.
None of them. None of them. Because it's a team. Now that's the thing. That's the thing. The Pacers, they understand team. So that's the key. They understand everyone gets a piece of the ball. Everyone gets their time. Everyone gets their shine. It's not just one person. Most people say, yeah, it's just Halliburton. Nah, it's the whole squad. Everybody's getting their time to shine.
That is true.
Wait,
the Pacers
the Knicks are ball hoggers?
No, not that. Co-host Kev. Let Kev chime in. He just stepped in the building. Go ahead, Kev. Rebuttal that.
You realize
how am I biased? Yo, I'm not no, stop it. I'm not biased, Kev. I got Pacers and I got Knicks. I got both of y'all here. But go ahead, Kev.
You just
your audio is going in and out. Kev,
Oh, choppy.
Hold on.
Take out your antenna, son.
Y'all can hear me now?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
There we go. Better.
Yeah, you better.
Sorry about
that. My man Kev, he must be going across the Bronx Bridge or something.
Nah, he had it in the car Bluetooth. I know where he had it.
Yeah, that Bluetooth in the whip.
I'm gonna come back in.
Okay, go ahead and come back. We're gonna keep it going.
Let me pick up the list.
So since you are, you go ahead and fill in for Kev right now. Who do you see as the one guy for Indiana that y'all got to keep in check? You did mention OG Anunoby having the whole Pascal Siakam. So is that who you're going with? Is your key to hold?
That was just one of the things I was trying to highlight. But like, it's the East Finals, man. You can't ask a question like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not one guy.
Right.
It's like, what team I gonna win this?
Mm-hmm.
And listen, if last time I checked, it's 4 Knicks starters averaging 20 points. So until that's beaten, it's Knicks and 6.
Oh,
straight like that. It's Knicks and 6. And it's been Knicks. Wait, hold on. Let me say this though. It's been Knicks and 6 since the beginning of these playoffs. Let's be real here.
Okay, and you hear that?
Can't dispute that. I said it. Listen, I said this on my podcast. I'm standing by my words. Like, it's Knicks and 6 until otherwise.
Knicks and 6. All right, thanks. Now, you had Pacers in 6. Based on what you've seen from the New York Knicks, like you just said, Jalen Brunson is not going to beat y'all 1-on-5. You guys seem to have a better and deeper team, a deeper bench. But let's talk about the coaches in this series. Who do you think is the better coach between Rick Carlisle and Tom Thibodeau? Who wins the coaching battle in this series?
Rick Carlisle all the way.
Man, cool.
Rick Carlisle. Rick
So
Carlisle.
what are the factors? What are the factors that Rick Carlisle brings that makes him a better coach than Tom Thibodeau?
Well, Rick Carlisle, he knows how to adjust on the fly as far as defensive wise.
I gotta go work.
Okay.
And don't get me wrong, I got a lot of respect for Tom Thibodeau. I've always liked Tom Thibodeau. But I just feel right now the Pacers are on a roll. And I'm gonna tell you something. The only person on the Knicks that really scares me is Mikal Bridges. Him. That guy right there is the X factor right there. That guy's the X factor for me. Right there.
Bridges. I could definitely. Is there anybody, Cousin Noomsy, is there anybody on the Pacers that you see that scares you? Like, he just admit that Mikal Bridges scares him for the Pacers. He sees Mikal Bridges as somebody who can be a threat in this series. Is there anybody that you see for the Pacers that makes you think like, yo, we gotta watch out for this guy?
Sure.
I mean, think about it. When you're gone, you're on the road with Wayne.
You on mute, cousin. You on mute. You are muted. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. I can understand why people say that, Bridget, but sorry on the Pacers. No, sorry, Kentucky, New York, and that's that. I don't see. I told you already. It was just the Boston Celtics I was really concerned about. I just want to get this series over with so we can just go ahead and go on to the championship. Respectfully, I'm just saying.
Y'all are so disrespectful to each other. Like,
wait, let me tell you something. Who do y'all said honesty had to be nice? Who said that?
That's fair.
You know what? You're right. All the gloves are off. This is the conference final, so gloves are off.
That's fair.
So I'm going. I see you, Fraz. I see you. So I'm going to throw this question out there for the panel. Then, beware. Who's the MVP of this series? Who will be the MVP of this series when it's all said and done?
Yeah, I'm looking at the pregame show and they showing the picture of the answer for your question. Mr. Brunson himself, Mr. Clutch.
Jalen Brunson. So you like Jalen Brunson as the MVP? Cousin,
I like Jalen for the win.
Yo, it's gonna be the captain.
I like Jalen for the win, son.
Rebecca,
wait,
I know it's all about team.
Let me back that up.
Halliburton. What the Halliburton?
Halliburton, okay, all right.
Because I really do feel like Cat might pull something out. And I don't want to sleep on him.
Well, Cat and Miles Turner, they're going to have, like, whoever wins that battle, I think that's going to be a huge factor. Because both of those guys can shoot the three. They both have a post-up. I think Cat has a slightly better post-up game than Miles Turner, but I also think Miles Turner is a bit quicker than Cat, and I think he's a little bit more agile. Cat's agile, but I think Miles has a little bit more agility than Cat in that regard. So, Bryce, I'm gonna get to you in a second because I want to get your take on this. But real quick, James, who's the MVP for this series when it's all said and done?
If it's all said and done, I got a couple people. Either Halliburton or probably either Miles Turner or either Siakam.
Okay.
One of them three.
So we got Jalen Brunson for the Knicks that we heard so far. We got Halliburton, and then you said, was it Pascal? Is that who you said as well?
Yes, Pascal Siakam, yeah.
All right, Fries, who you got as the MVP for this series when it's all said and done?
Honestly, it's gonna come down to either Jalen or Cat. Honestly, because like I said, Cat's gonna be the X factor this series. I'm telling you, because one thing you didn't mention when you was talking about Cat is the more physical of the two between Cat and Miles Turner. Miles Turner is gonna have a problem defending him under the basket.
That is fair.
Okay. Yes, Miles Turner is the more agile player. I'll give you that. But I've noticed watching Miles Turner play, they take him out early in games in the first quarter. So how much agility do we have? I don't think that's always a precautionary thing. I think that's how they have him and his minutes paced out throughout the game.
Right. Well, because
So at
Carlisle
the
ain't
end
gonna
of the
run his
day,
players into the ground.
Well,
yeah, but at the end,
Don't forget
but
to
also,
mention. Don't forget to mention that Cat is averaging almost 30 points a game against Miles Turner.
Oh, I told him that. I also told him about your 5 for. I told him about your 5 for 14 with OG defending Siakam too, because I know you was gonna say that too. So you already know I got you.
Right.
The greediness.
Right.
One thing I'm also concerned about too is
And another thing, I ain't get to say what I want to say, right? I know you had mentioned injury, right? Chill. You had mentioned that we beat Boston because Jason Tatum didn't play.
No. I didn't say because. I said that the team that you guys beat is not the same team that the Pacers lost to last year.
It was 3-1 when
the same team.
But
it's
it
about to be 3-1.
We was up 9 with going up 3-1 against Jason Tatum, and he had 40 points in that game.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right. So let's
42
talk about
to be
that.
exact.
And another thing I want to talk about. Another thing I want to say, right? You say that, but how come you ain't mentioned the fact that Indiana had to play Cleveland with no Darius Garland, no Evan Mobley, no Donovan Mitchell, in the Cleveland Cavaliers series, right?
Well,
And the Milwaukee Bucks
A win is a win.
and the Milwaukee Bucks series.
Everybody's dinged up during the playoffs. What? Everybody's dinged up during the playoffs. Everybody's dinged up.
Go ahead.
Everybody's dinged up during the playoffs.
I'm just saying, let's be fair, though. Let's be fair.
But a win is a win.
You know, let's be fair. Halliburton had a hamstring injury during the playoffs last year.
Okay, there's that.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact is, people are hurt during the playoffs.
So
hold on. Y'all beat a injury-laden Knicks team in 7 games. Wait a minute.
That's right.
A win is a win.
But that's
but my point is.
Yes.
What's gonna be an excuse
That's
this
not
year?
an excuse. That's what I'm gonna ask you Pacers fans when we beat y'all in 6 games. I don't want to hear the excuses.
Who is we? Nah.
I don't want to hear the excuses.
You can't have Knicks fans on here and not expect heat, yo. It's impossible.
Exactly. It's smoke all day. What are we talking? It's Knicks and 6 until otherwise. You dig it? Knicks and 6 until otherwise.
Well, we'll see when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But at this point, I say
we already there. It's game 1. We already there. Ain't no bridge to cross, honey. It's time for the games to be played. Games have to be played at the end of the day. That's all I gotta say.
But let me ask y'all a question. Let me ask y'all a question. Okay. Who can Jalen Brunson guard on the Pacers?
Does that matter? The question is who's going to guard Jalen Brunson?
Because Jalen Brunson can't play both ends of the floor.
Does that stop Jalen Brunson from scoring?
Yeah, it will. Because he got to put some energy playing against
First of all, Detroit tried it. Detroit tried it. It ain't work.
Right.
Well, you know, Detroit ain't been in the
tried it. It ain't work.
Detroit
ain't been in the
Boston just put Tatum on Jalen Brunson, and Brunson still dropped 30 on him. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Let me finish before you try. You know what I mean? Let me finish real quick, please.
Okay.
They've thrown the kitchen sink at Brunson all playoffs long. Cade Cunningham, 6'5", 6'6". Asa Thompson. Oh, you saw Asa Thompson get cooked up, right? Oh, hold on.
His ankles are still on the court.
Word. Asa Thompson, youngster, premier defender in the league, got cooked up in the most critical moment of the game. You threw the kitchen sink at Brunson in the Boston series. You threw Drew Holiday. You threw Jason Tatum. Hell, you even had Jaylen Brown on him in games 5 and 6. And did that still stop Brunson from scoring 30? Of course not. So at the end of the day, he got the heart of a lion and the determination that is unmatched. He's also the NBA's most clutch player. He got the most clutch points in the playoffs. And by clutch points, we mean in a game that's 5 points or less with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, as defined by the NBA, not by me. The NBA defines these. All right. So before y'all say, "Oh, you making up numbers," hold on. I'm almost done, and I'm gonna let you ask your question. All right, no problem.
Okay.
So
okay.
And clutch time is defined as 5 minutes or less in a game and a 5-point or less game. Right? Who scored the most points in the NBA in the playoffs? Brunson. And you know what that means, right? Don't let the game be close, because he's gonna find a way to win. As simple as that. Now you could go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, you talk about Kay Cunningham and all those guys. Detroit ain't been in the playoffs in what, 10 years?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact is this. My only thing I'm saying is this. If Jalen Brunson can score 30 and 40 points, that's not going to beat the Pacers, man. You know what I'm saying? You need the whole team to beat the Pacers. And the one person's not going to beat Indiana.
There's one thing wrong with your argument, though. The first thing you said about your argument when you came out. What was the first thing you said? What was the first thing you said?
Well, you know, I said a lot of things. So.
All right.
No. I'm talking about what he just said a few seconds ago.
He said one man can't beat. He said Brunson. One man can't beat the Pacers, right?
One man can't beat the Pacers. One man. One man cannot beat the Pacers.
But we're not built around one guy. Do you not see that?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are.
Towns 30 and 10. Towns 30 and 10 on y'all in the regular season were built around one guy. The numbers don't lie. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Oh my God!
Hey, to be truthful, ain't nobody. To be truthful,
let me get to
ain't
these,
nobody.
these comments real quick. My man Diesel Greasel, Detroit Piston fan, he wanted to come in and say that he feels like the Knicks are trash. He also
we ain't got no more room, son. We ain't got no more room.
Hold on. Let me finish. He also says the Pacers are gonna beat the Knicks. The Knicks can't outscore them. He says Rick Carlisle is the better coach. He says the East Coast people are very rude.
You know what?
Man, come on, man. Yo, pack it up, son.
Hold up. Can I say something? Is this the same guy? Is this the same guy that said Boston was gonna sweep us? Is that the same guy?
Hold on. Yeah. Let me get the last thing. The last thing he said is this. He said if
pack it up, son.
He said if Karl Anthony Towns pulls out anything, it'll be a butt plug.
Wow. It figures a fan of a team that's not in the playoffs would say that. Go ahead, Carol.
So Diesel, how your team lost to a nigga with a butt plug?
No Diddy.
Okay.
No Diddy.
I'm just saying.
That's wild.
What kind of butt plug speech, man? Bumbuckler. Them speech they're loose. It's the wrong room, man. It's not in the LGBTQ room, man.
What?
Sports room.
We're gonna do this. Everybody gonna give their prediction for this series. I already heard Knicks in 6 from Fries. Kev, what do you got? Knicks in what? Knicks in 5? Oh my God, the disrespect.
Word?
Okay. Cousin Noomsy, Knicks in what?
Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6. Okay. Rebecca with the AK. What is your prediction? Pacers in what?
Pacers in 4.
Disrespect.
Never.
Disrespectful.
Confidence.
Never.
Disrespectful.
I love it.
Pacers in 4.
James, who Indiana Pacers wins this series in 6 games is what you say. You standing on that?
6 games.
6 games, Indiana Pacers.
6 games.
Wow. All right, Q to
6
B.
games.
Q to B.
Yo,
Knicks or Pacers, and how many games?
Let me get my little say so on this since I'm new to it. I fuck with
I gotta
Bronson.
let my producer talk too.
Hey, I've
My
been
producer gotta
fucking with
get
Bronson.
it in too now.
Yeah, I've been messing with Bronson since the Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? I've been on that. I've been talking about Bronson for a while, so I love Bronson. But I think y'all going to 7 games. Y'all ain't finna come in here and get out of here in 6. Neither team. I'm saying the Knicks got a slight edge. Knicks in 7. But ain't nobody stopping Bronson. Ain't nobody stopping Halliburton either. So y'all, it's gonna be a battle. It ain't finna be no shutdown. Y'all finna go back and forth.
Word.
Yeah, I'm with you. Also, my producer Q to beat. I'm with him on the 7-game series. I definitely think it's gonna go 7. I'm gonna go Indiana in 7. I'm taking the Pacers in 7 for the reasons that James alluded to. Just the depth. I just think the depth is gonna be too much. I also think that the minutes that Jalen Brunson is playing, the minutes that he's
Exactly my point.
I don't know if that can be sustained through a full 7-game series against a team that has the depth of Indiana.
We built for this. We'll
see. We'll see how that goes. And I know we about 6 minutes away from close to getting the tip-off time. So, with that being said,
hold on, son. I ain't getting my prediction, son.
No. Oh, go ahead, Beware. Go on, brethren.
I like the sound of Knicks in 6, but I'm probably gonna go with you and say we're gonna do it in 7. So I like it. Indiana gonna fight. And if we win at home and they win at home, it's gonna go to 7. So
yeah,
y'all being really disrespectful out here. But I'm glad the 7-game series.
Sleep is crazy.
Admit that, but you never know what could happen. I know.
Crazy.
Right.
I don't know if any of y'all saw the game last night between OKC and Minnesota, but OKC, they laid the smackdown on Minnesota. It was close early in the game. In the second half, it was the depth of OKC, the speed and the youth of OKC that ultimately wore down Minnesota. So with that being said, we're going to get a quick prediction on that. I'm going to go in this series. I'm going OKC in 6 games to win this one. That's what my prediction is. Q to beat. You chime in, and then we'll go around the world and get that, and then we'll let y'all get to the game because it's almost tip-off time.
OKC in 6.
You got OKC in 6 also. Okay. OKC in 6. Beware. What you got?
I got the Knicks.
OKC in Minnesota.
I don't care who went on the West Coast. Be honest, I don't care. I got the Knicks, son.
He said,
I got
one no, he's
Great.
Okay, Kev, who you got? OKC, Minnesota, how many games?
I got Minnesota in 7.
That's a strong one. I like that. Ant-Man can definitely do it. My heart is with Minnesota. My mind is with OKC, but I really want Minnesota to do this. Fries, who you got? OKC?
I really think Minnesota kind of dropped the ball yesterday. They should have had the ball going through Julius Randle, because when the ball was going through Julius Randle, they was cooking. They was cooking.
18 points.
You got 3 minutes, son. 3 minutes to tip off, son.
All right,
literally. I'm gonna be the one to go out on a limb. It's not OKC gonna wrap that up in 5. I think they saw something yesterday. Them young spring chickens, man. That's what they always talking about in basketball. Them young spring chickens, man. Them boys was out there running and gunning, man. If it looked like that the rest of the way, yeah, it's OKC in 5. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good call. Rebecca, are you gonna be like my man Beware and say they don't care about the West and you just got Indiana? Because I had a feeling you was gonna go there.
Of course I am. I don't see any other team but Indiana. That's it.
Okay. All right. So, cousin them, OKC or Minnesota? How many games? Or do you care?
Minnesota, because you want to know something? My guy Randall. I still have love for Randall. So
You still got that Julius Randle love. Okay.
It is.
I don't want to play them though. I don't want to play them in the ship.
Yeah,
right,
I know, but I'm just saying.
If they beat y'all in the ship, man, y'all can't say nothing for the rest of the year.
Not the rest of the year.
The Knicks fans can't talk if y'all let
the year is almost over for the basketball year.
Pretty much.
Yo, real thing, not yo. Excellent stuff. So did everybody give their picks? Everybody got their picks in. So
hold up.
y'all,
hey, Noomsy, we gotta get back after the game. We gotta get back and we gotta get back. Let's go a halftime report, Noomsy, and see what's going on.
Halftime. We gonna fix my drink.
You might not win.
We gonna fix my drink.
Y'all be easy.
All right, sir.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you, Kev. Yo, and all of y'all out there that's watching, we appreciate the support. I want to thank my producer, Q the Beat. I want to thank Rebecca. I want to thank my man Beware. I want to thank Fries. I want to thank cousin Noomsy. And I want to thank my man and co-host Kev, Knicks and Ish. Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks coming at y'all tonight. We about to tip it off. We appreciate y'all for joining the Sports Podcast. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. We in here, and we going to holler at y'all on the flip side. And we are
Knicks and Sticks.
Appreciate you, Rebecca. Appreciate everybody.